If you got a queasy tummy, I'm going to post it at the end after everything. So if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't. I'm warning you right now. G'day viewers, it's Chris Atkins here and welcome back to my channel, The Car Wash Chronicles. I haven't been completely honest with you guys, so I think it's time to set the truth straight. I don't just have 2 car washes, I actually have 3. I share one with Stuart, so I got this one with him way before I got my 2. We got this one together. Little backstory on it is basically I saw this car wash in Victorville online for sale and I called him up and we went and checked it out, and the location really wasn't that good, so we kind of passed on that one. But the broker that showed us, he said, well, I know this other car wash that's for sale, it's completely shut down, so the guy's just willing to give a straight lease, you know, without a purchase price, so essentially we'll get it for free and then we'll just fix it up and run it. So we drove on over. It was about 10 minutes away from the car wash we were looking at, and he was right, it was completely shut down and it was trashed. It was a mess. As you can see in these photos, there's just trash everywhere. The bushes are overgrown. It's almost become like a homeless campsite where they can just chill in the bays and maybe even live in the bays. So we would definitely have our work cut out for us. But this was before I owned any of my own car washes, so I was very excited and I saw it as a great opportunity, and so did Stuart. So Stuart pretty much said, well, here's the thing, you know, it's 2 hours away from home, so he's not going to really go out there and do it, which I don't blame him. But because it was my first car wash, I was really motivated. So we made the deal that I would just fix it up. And at the time, I didn't have any money, so Stuart said he would finance it, he would buy all the equipment and get it up and running, and then I would be the one basically building it up and running it. So that's exactly what we did. We got a 15-year lease on it with a 0 purchase price, so we went straight in and we signed the lease and got the keys, and that was pretty much it. And the good thing about this car wash is that it was already plumbed. It already had all the hoses running into the bays, and it had all the pumps and motors there, which were still working and in surprisingly good order. So we saved quite a bit of money there. I think the total it cost us to get us up and running was about $40,000. That's including 4 brand new vacuums, which would have been about $6,000 right there. And then just all the other stuff. We put a few new hoses in because over time they just got brittle from the weather and they could pretty much crack in your hand. We had to replace a few solenoids that were getting old and rusty. And like I said, it had just been sitting there for about 5 years with no water running through it. So you can imagine what the hoses were getting like in the weather time, especially in the high desert when it reaches 110. And then of course we repainted it and just made it look pretty. We got all brand new signs, we got all brand new guns and brushes, of course. Then we had to put all brand new lights in the bays and around the property to light it up nice and bright at nighttime, which was essential kind of to keep the homeless away, because if it's super bright at nighttime, then it's going to kind of deter any, you know, activity on the property that you don't really want. Then we put in the security cameras, so all that kind of adds up. And then plus with labor and, you know, probably about 10 grand's worth at Home Depot just buying tools we need and ladders. Then of course the labor for our worker. So it was probably about $40,000 out of pocket, and this was back in 2018 when I first found it. So we've pretty much had it now for 3 years and it's done pretty good. The rent's nice and cheap, it's under $2,000. I think we made a deal at $1,800 and then 3% every year it would go up. So it was 18, then the next year was $1,850. Now I think we're up to $1,910. And then next year it'll be 2020 or something. So it's still very cheap in comparison to my other ones, which I'm paying $5,000 for. But this one in Victorville, it's not the best location. It's kind of a quiet road. It's about 2 minutes from the main strip of the city of Victorville, where all the real busy traffic is. I wish it was on that road, then it would be doing double what it's doing now. But again, we built it up to be very good, and people now understand that that's a great car wash, so they will spend the extra couple of minutes driving to it to pass a couple of the older ones that haven't been remodeled. So come along, I'm going to show you my technically first car wash, shared car wash that me and Stuart did together, and I'll tell you a little more about the deal when we get there. And just quickly before we get there, I just want to thank each and every one of you. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is huge. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe so we can hit that 10,000 together, because I do really enjoy making these videos for you guys. Hopefully educating you guys about the car wash business, so that one day if you want to quit your job that you hate, you can go find your own car wash. And again, check out my Instagram at Car Wash Chronicles, where I post photos and videos of stuff that I don't put on YouTube. See you guys at the Victorville car wash. First of all, I got to stop off at Home Depot to get some salt for my water softening system at Main Street. So let's go do that. have it. We put salt in the water softening system. It's about half full right now. That's probably going to last about 3 or 4 months. These are the big water softening system tanks, which the salt runs through and the resin spins around really quickly, cleans the city water and just softens it a little bit because it's so hard. But anyway, that's it here at Main Street. I'm just going to clean up and do the usual rounds. And then we're going to head to Victorville car wash and show you car wash number 3. Now that I just stuffed myself full of Carl's Jr., we're going to finally head to Victorville car wash. I just did Main Street, I just did Bear Valley. They're all about 5 minutes apart from each other, so it's super easy. So it kind of makes the 2-hour drive out here worthwhile. So I'm on Hesperia Road now. This is the road that the actual car wash is on. Just behind me is where it's really busy, shops everywhere, and lots of cars. And then as you just exit out of here, which is just crossed over, I think, Nisqually Road, it kind of turns into, as you can see, quite a lot of land. There's a lot of residential housing over there, a lot over there, and some factories to the right. But you can see it's not really quite built up. You know, there's not much going on. There's just a bunch of land. And the car wash is about 1 minute up the road here. So as we get closer, you'll be able to see kind of the area that I'm talking about. It's not a super busy area with a ton of cars going past. They are actually developing a little mall right there straight ahead. So that's good. I guess the area is building up a little bit, which will be good for the car wash once that's built. Just up there to the left is a main road. Just to kind of give you guys a different idea on, you know, my Main Street car wash. You've seen in my previous videos how busy that gets based on its location. It's on a very busy road, Main Street, of course. And then this one on Hesperia Road, which is our Victorville car wash. It's not the busiest road. You can see it's, you know, cars dribble on by, but it's not constantly busy 24/7. You could quite comfortably walk across the street, you know, pretty much any point in time without getting killed by a car. And you'll probably notice what it looks like just on the left. See, there's a bunch of land to the right, a couple of shops, there's a mechanics on the left. And the infamous red roof, same as the other ones. When I'm here, I usually test everything. I test all the bays and I test all the vacuums. Well, I went to test one of the vacuums and there's actually a coin jam in one of the coin acceptors. So we're gonna go open it up. I'll show you guys, check it out, and I'll show you how to unblock a coin jam. So you can see the coins are jammed in there. You got a token and a quarter side by side. Usually that's because people put in either dimes, nickels, pennies, or even quarters with chewing gum on them. And then it jams it up and it ruins it for everyone else because now it's out of order until I fix it. So we open up the faceplate, we got the coin acceptor, and you can see the coins are just piling out. They're stuck side by side in there. I think it was a Canadian coin actually I found. So to get them out, you got to take this little screw out. And then that comes off, and as soon as you take that off, they just come piling out.
I'll just make sure there's no more coin stuck in the coin acceptor, and then pretty much just put that back on, screw the screw back in, and it should be good to go. Of course, once you fix everything, you test it just to make sure that you did fix it and then it's working again. So we're testing it and it turned on, so we're good to go. Lock it back up and that's another problem solved for the day. Now the build changes are kind of low, so I will replenish the tokens while I'm here, make sure it lasts till the weekend. I'm not going to film the actual count because you guys have seen it many times and you might find it boring, but here's some nice slow motion action for you.
So just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown on what was actually here when we took it over versus what we had to buy. So the nice thing about this car wash is that it has a toilet and a sink, so you can actually use it and do your business. Whereas a lot of other car washes don't have one, so you would have to seek a toilet elsewhere. So we actually put in this security system. You can see there's 8 cameras covering every inch of the property, which is very nice, 1 in each bay. There was all junk in here when we took it over, old vacuum, so we cleaned it all out and it's pretty much just storage now. And then we walk in, this compressor was already here. It looks very old, of course, but these last forever. Unfortunately, this one's time was up and it died probably about 6 months ago. So we bought a brand new one. We've got a Quincy air compressor, which we've bought many of at all of our other car washes, and they seem to be pretty good. So no real complaints about Quincy. You know, we had to buy all these tools. Obviously there was nothing here. So I made this whole stand. It used to be clean and neat, but not anymore. This is our vending stock and supplies. We've got our soap here, tire cleaner, wax, soap brush, high pressure soap, and pre-soak. So all of this was already here. This whole stand, all of the pumps, all these motors were here. All these flow jets and solenoids, and all of these were already here. It was all plumbed. Even all of these colored cables going up, all the colored hoses, they were already there. So we didn't have to do any of that, which saved us a lot of money and a lot of time. You know, obviously things like the flow jet pumps we changed out because they were sitting there for many years and they're about $150. So it's better just to change them out instead of trying to risk using them and breaking down when you're 2 hours away and then there's no soap coming out. So these are our hydrominders. This was already all here. We didn't have to really do anything. I think maybe we had to get a hydrominder repair kit and just change a few of the hydrominders. But yeah, it was already hosed. It was already plumbed. Water. Had to get a new float ball. That's not a big deal. And then, like I said, all these cat pumps, they were already here. These are all the originals. These motors are all the originals. They were all work and they still work 3 years since we've opened. I think we put on these regulators. So 1, 2, 3, we put these 3 on, new regulators. This one is still an old one. It still works pretty good. As you can see, it's a different type. This one you just twist to adjust the air and the pressure for the PSI coming out the high pressure. But this one, you got to get a screwdriver and kind of manipulate it with a screwdriver. It's a little more difficult. So whenever we get the chance to switch them out with these ones, we do. And we put new gauges on, all new gauges. Just little stuff, you know, like that. And then this build changer was already here. So all we had to do was get a new mask kit and everything. That was all new when we first got it. It's obviously 3 years old now, so it's looking a little run down. But we put in this brand new build changer. I think it was about $8,000 to install and it's working pretty good. Ready to accept bill. Haven't really had any problems with it since. In terms of the spot free, we got the whole RO system. We got the spot free pump up on the wall. There's a big tank up on the roof, maybe a 300-gallon tank, I think it is. And it's gravity fed through that red hose, through the pump, the spot free pump, which is all part of the spot free. And this is all a brand new. I think it was about $9,000 for this system to get the spot free in. We got a brand new water softening system. So we'll put some salt in there, keep the salt nice and full. They're the water softening tanks with the resin spinning around and soften the water because it's so hard. And that's pretty much it. So we actually saved quite a bit of money. The fact that it was already here, the pumps and motors were already here. Otherwise it would have probably been an extra maybe 15 or 20 grand, including all the hosing. And that's basically it. I mean, we put the vacuums in, 4 brand new vacuums. The stands were already there. So we just took the old ones off, put the new ones on and pretty much ready to go. So I think it was about $40,000 after everything. Painting it was a few $1,000s, the roof and the bay, the whole body of the car wash needed painting. It's not a bad amount to get a car wash under your belt because it's probably made that 6, 7, 8 times over already in the 3 years we've had it. Like you saw, it's not on the busiest road, but there's enough cars going by to where they will see it. It's very visible from the street. It would be nicer if it was on a main road and it was much busier, but the fact that it's not, is all we can do is build it up to be the best it can. And then once people realize it's here, we're gonna have repeat customers because they're gonna have a great experience. Like I always say, we give them a lot of soap, give them a great product, and they will just keep coming back for a great price, of course. So I'm just gonna give it a quick sweep up. I'm gonna clean it and empty the trash. The fun part of owning a car wash, very simple. It's not too messy, so it shouldn't take me too long, about 20 minutes. And then I guess I'm out of here. So you can see it's set up the same way as the other car washes I have, Main Street in Bear Valley. We've got everything pretty much the same faceplate, same stickers, same functions. We've got the high pressure water, we've got the pre-soak, we've got the air dryers, we've got the tire cleaner, and we've got the soap brush, we've got the wax and all that kind of stuff. And again, just to repeat myself, the reason we have so many functions, we have a 10 function rotary switch, one is stop, so it's really just 9, but we have 5 different hoses, dirty hands. We've got 5 different hoses in the bays coming out, and that just keeps the customers in the bay a lot longer. It gives them many choices to wash whatever they want. They got a separate brush for their tires, they got a separate one for the body of the car. They can use the pre-soak first to completely smother the car in soap, and it'll just drain the dirt off as it runs down, and then they can finish off with the air dryer at the end. And just a quick shout out to my fellow car wash owner, Nathan Pilatus. Oh yeah, we've got the 4.5-inch hog's hair brush heads because they're the best, obviously much better than nylon. Go follow his channel, go check it out, subscribe, Nathan Pilatus. So I did notice a little leak from the swivel, so I'm going to go ahead and change it. It's just a little drip, drip, drip. It's nothing massive, but if I just leave it, it's going to get worse and worse over the next few days, and then it's going to be spraying everywhere. So I'll catch it early, I'll change it. I'm going to need some tape, 2 wrenches, and a swivel. Took me a while to get this comfortable, but once you do it many times, it's easy. So you can see this swivel's pretty old. It's probably been here for a year or 2. And it's leaking in between here. So we'll take that off. Comes off here. This is pretty much trash. It can be saved by changing the O-rings, but I don't. I just throw them out because I guess I'm lazy. I'm gonna clean this, take all the old tape off. Wrap it up. Usually about 4 times around. Personal preference. We got the new swivel. That goes on there. Pretty tight. Not super tight, otherwise when you want to change it again, you won't be able to get it undone. Because I think I'm pretty much done for now. What do? We collected the cash, we topped up the tokens so it's good till Sunday, we swept up, cleaned up, we unjammed a coin jam in the vacuum and just made sure everything was good. I tested everything, changed the swivel because there was a little leak. And you know, I was probably here for an hour. Nice sunny day, customers coming in and out, and it's not a bad car wash. All right, there's one more thing. Just before I leave this Victorville car wash, last night I just watched Investment Joy's latest video, and I found it very funny, and I could relate when he showed me some human feces on the wall of his car wash Well, at this Victorville car wash last week, I wasn't going to post it, but since he kind of did, I thought I would kind of bring mine up and relate to him on that. He mentioned he couldn't find it on his footage. Well, I found mine on my footage. If you got a queasy tummy, I'm going to post it at the end after everything. So if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't. I'm warning you right now. So shout out to Brandon from Investment Joy for making me post it. This is your fault, Brandon. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and, of course, subscribe. We're almost at 10,000. I appreciate each and every one of you. Click away now. Click off now if you don't want to see that video. Thanks, guys. Chris Atkins with the Car Wash Chronicles. See you all next time.